Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the one, the only knee-slapping K-pop podcast. It is your girl, Maria, and I'm here with a lovely, now I think three-time special guest onto the show. Third-time special guest. We have Sat in the house.
Hi.
Woo! Welcome back,
Thank
Sat.
you for having me.
Welcome back. No problem. It's fun doing this every single year, this recap, because Kayla and Sammy just don't know this universe that much. You know it better.
I know it better, but I don't really
two,
think
and
it's helpful this year either.
I mean, to be fair, we're all preoccupied. The K-pop scene came back in full force last year compared to 2021. 2021 was a time for the pop. There was a few good songs there, not gonna lie. But like a lot of it was just mediocre to bad that year. 2022, there were still some pretty bad songs in my opinion, but there were a lot of really great songs I think made that year way more enjoyable. But anyways, 2022 for kR&B and K-hip-hop was an interesting year too, because I think the 2021 high was higher than this one, but I still think there were still some solid releases.
I think
here
for
and there.
2022 for me it was more about the R&B, whereas 2021 was more hip-hop.
That's fair, yeah. The R&B, I think, it stood out to me, I think, more than last year, but also, like, I do listen to R&B, but I don't listen to it as much compared to the hip-hop, so the hip-hop is usually a little bit more of a focus to me, but it helps that you're here, Sat, to help balance it out.
I'll try my best.
Bring harmony and balance to this, a podcast, if you will. But, of course, if you know by now, this is now the third year of us doing this. We're not doing any stupid awards this year because I guess we got lazy. Not that they were stupid, but we got lazy, and life is kicking my behind recently, unfortunately. Hopefully, once this episode's released, I'll move past the annoying part at work. If not, then Lord help me, I guess. But anyways, we're mainly just going to talk about favorite best R&B, break it down by singles, EPs, albums. Same thing with best hip-hop, singles, EPs, albums. And then, of course, if you know me from the last couple times, you know I also like to highlight the rock, the indie, the electronic, aka the other types of music as well, because I feel like those don't get their big space and highlights as well. And then after that, we'll go into a little bit of Show Me the Money, mainly with Sat, because Sat's been paying attention to Show Me the Money 11 more, because it literally just ended, I think, before the new year happened. And then we'll go into some hip hop news and R&B news to round it all out. So starting with best rock, indie, electronic. This is really more so of a recommendation list to check it out. I don't really have too much to say besides I listen to these things and I like them for the most part. First we got Very Coy Bunny, On Your Mark, and then slash Lack of Love. That's a single album release. Really enjoyable, like a soft pop rock kind of vibe. Those two songs I think came up near the very beginning of last year, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Glenn Check Beach. I've loved Glenn Check for a long time, since I first got into K-pop, which was around like technically speaking, it was like 2010, 2011 was the very first time. And then eventually I rediscovered it in 2013 and continued on with it since then. So like around 2013, I first discovered Glenn Check. Glenn Check, I think, was my first, I think them and Nell were like the first two like indie types of musician act groups that I got into. And they released an album last year, Bleach, after not releasing a project in a while. And I was super happy to hear that they were back. Really love them. They're very much like a nostalgia electronic artist duo, trio group for me. So that was great to hear back from them.
Have you listened to the 80s album that came out in December?
80s. Oh shit. I don't think so. I've been kind of off the track with 80s for a little bit.
It was mostly remixes and one single, but one of the people from Glenn Check made a remix for them for one of the songs.
Oh, awesome! I have to look into that. You have to send it to me later. I'm curious. I'm curious of the production for that. I'll look into that for sure. Didn't know where to put her, but Baby Yana, her former group member is Say. Her and Say were part of an idol group. I forget the name of the idol group because surprise, surprise, they didn't really were that popular. But she's a former idol, like Say. Except Say went more the R&B route. Bibiana, I guess, went more of the hyper pop trap inspired route with Space Mulan. Really solid EP. If you're feeling your hyper pop trap needs, or just hyper pop with a trap influence, it's a great one to listen to. Yaya Kim, her album aka Yaya, has to be one of the longest Korean albums I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. That thing has like over 30 plus tracks on
God.
it. It is long. It is long, but it's pretty solid. And I think she's literally like the producer, the writer, and the blah for everything. And that's her thing. That's her rock, you know? She kills that. That's her shtick. Have fun with that, I guess. The Volunteers, which is Yeren Beck, or really Beck Yeren if we're talking her Korean name, but New Plant / Hypocreep, which is also a single release. That's her band. Solid stuff from them again. Love it when Yeren feels like she wants to be in her rock chick era with the band. I'm glad she has that outlet to do that with, while also having her own solo career outside of that. It's great. Great to double dip and experiment with your genres. And it still continues with New Plant and Hypocreep. So good. Bronze. Oh my god. If you need a city pop producer, just call up Bronze, because he got you. His album Skyline, a third fantastic city pop inspired album from him. Love it so much. So good. Absolutely adore it. Yeren Beck also released a single, Pisces. Again, it's more Yeren Beck. What can I say? It's you listen to her shit, you love her shit. It's more of her shit. It's good. It's good. And like, you know, Yeren Beck also put out a very lovely New Year Instagram post, which included one of the things that she wanted to do more for 2013, which was have more good sex. So, you know, good for you, girl. You get that good sex. Make sure the other guy wears a condom, though. Okay, we're protecting sex. We're having safe sex here in this house, okay? Nothing questionable. No, she straight up, like, literally, a bullet point said good sex on it. I'm like, okay, girl. I mean, good for you. Feel yourself. Have fun. Have fun. I don't know who it is, but, like, again, condom girl. Condom. And probably some birth control, but, you know, that's besides the point. Anyways, good music from her. Urain, Love Gaze, not much to say except I liked it. Scion, Love, same idea. 250 with Pawn. So for those who don't know, we'll get into it a little bit later too, but 250, he has produced so far 4 out of 6 New Jeans songs, and I say 3 out of 4 of those are probably their most popular songs to date, which is insane. But yes, before the music he made for New Jeans was released, he released an album called Pawn. It is a very eclectic electronic album, I will tell you that right now. Very eclectic, and I doubt New Jeans will get any of this type of music. Usually with producers, I feel like typically when they release their own solo stuff, it's usually the most eclectic shit they can make, or it's either A, mediocre, or it's like singles that were meant for artists but never ended up making an album project, so they stick it on an album kind of deal. This is like his eclectic shit, you know, what I want to do kind of album. And yeah, it works. It's very unique. It's fun to listen to. He experiments a lot here. And yeah, I recommend it if you're curious to see what, you know, what the one of the major producers for New Jeans currently I guess does on his spare off time, apparently. TRPP, Here to Stay, also a good album. Recommend that one. The Black Skirts, Teen Troubles, Now. Fantastic album release. This is the grunge, teenage, definitely well executed rock that you need in your lives. Just please listen to it. It's so fucking good. So good. So good. For those who are unaware, the Black Skirts originally was under Higher Ground. Yes, there was a label, the sub-label founded by Tabla of Epic High when he was still signed under YG Entertainment. The Black Skirts was one of the artists that was part of that label and was there pretty much until Tablo made the label defunct, and then him and Epic High left a year later, basically. But yeah, he was one of those artists. There's only one person in this group. Don't know why he writes it as, you know, it's plural, but yeah. Either way, great album. I recommend it. And then we have Bon Jae-gan. I think it's Bon Jae-gan with Gekum and Good, which is a single album release. Really good rock as well. Not like grunge rock, more so just like definitely leans more. I want to say it leans. I don't know if it leans metal. I don't want to say it's grunge, but I want to say it's like full on metal. But like the kind of like hype rock kind of vibe. Good shit. Good shit. And then I think you got one that I haven't heard of yet. Sat.
Yeah, so so there's this artist called Lee Jana. So the way I would describe her voice is if IU didn't hit puberty, that's what she sounds like. So, but
so you're saying like a higher pitched IU almost?
Ideally, her voice would not be for me. Like I really don't like those childlike voices.
Gotcha.
But the instrumental is so good. There's like a lot of electric guitar mixed in with like orchestral instruments, and there's like a full piano breakdown. So the production was so fire that I ended up liking it. But generally, I wouldn't like her voice. But within Korea, I know like all of like our idols' favorites, she is their favorite. Right,
which is good. I'm glad. You know, I'm glad the idols appreciate her. It's like her and Sunu Jana. I feel like because I've seen a few artists like repost Sunu Jana. But speaking of which, shout out to her this year. I didn't put her on the list, but like shout out to her for her OST for what was that show? Something Attorney Woo. Extraordinary Attorney Woo. Yeah. Really good song from that show.
The autistic lawyer.
Yes, I have not seen the show, but a really good OST. And actually, we'll probably, I don't know if we'll mention One Side later. I don't think he's necessarily on the list. But One Side also had a good OST for, I think the show's code 2521. I know Kim Tae-ri of The Handmaiden, aka Agashi fame, is in that show, which if you compare her to what her character does in Agashi, oh boy. It seems like she's kind of like, Agashi's a lot. The Handmaiden, that's a film that's a lot. It's written by the same director who directed Old Boy. So like, brace yourself for what you get into there. But I've heard Kim Tae-ri's been doing like dramas and some more not as scandalous type roles, if you want to put it that. So I heard she's pretty good in that drama. I haven't watched it though, but yeah, that's another good OST from a I'd say an R&B star this year. So shout out to Weinstein. And actually, speaking of which, best R&B, we're here. Unless you want to say anything else about Lee Jana.
No, she's great. Everyone should listen to that mini. It wasn't really mini. It was like a single album. There's like 3 tracks, but all of those tracks, production-wise, was so fire.
Oh, good. Yeah, again, something slipped under the cracks, and that's one of them. I'd say, it's probably a bigger list than like the last couple times for rock, indie, electronic that I have this year. So like, something slipped through the tracks. It's hard to keep up with everything half the time. But best R&B, starting with the singles. I think his name's pronounced Nuwale for Sit Down, a really fire production. Really, really love the production on this song. So good. Just honestly, it's so fucking good. I go back to it, I'm just like, this is so fire, and just like, oof. I don't know how to describe it. It's not really jazzy, but it's like, it's not neo soul like The Weeknd either. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like you're like swimming underwater. It's like cool sounds like that, but not really water.
Is it smooth R&B?
Yeah, like it's really smooth R&B, but it's not like a Babylon R&B. But the production's like really well done on it. Geary Boy. I think it's Issue de Feu or however the fuck you pronounce it in French. Half the time I look at this shit, I'm just like, French language, what are you? Which is funny because a lot of English words are derived from French words, but we say them differently. That it's like, who cares? Anyways, this song, I don't know if I'd say it's necessarily R&B. One could argue it's more pop leaning, but like I feel like there's R&B elements in it that I'm like a big fan of. Listened to this on repeat a lot. Really loved it. Really love how Geary Boy is just a huge fan of expanding himself into different avenues of production as an artist, as a rapper, as I guess apparently a singer-songwriter too as of recent.
He's been pretty quiet though. I haven't really heard like minis or albums from him.
Yeah, this was really the one single this year I think that I noticed, but he's also gotten recently into acting, so he might be filming shows and stuff right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget what acting role he recently got, but they made a thing about it like, oh, this is his first show he's gonna be acting in. And I'm like, oh shit, look at you go, Geary Boy. Okay, we'll see if you're good. I mean, not that I'll watch it, but like, I mean, good for him though. He's been busy. We also have a single with Moon, Soojin, and Giselle Only You. Some good classic girl homies like R&B. They kill it. We love it. I'm here for it. Love it. Pretty much. And then Jay Park. Jay Park actually released a few singles this year, along with everything else that was going on in his professional career. Nothing bad, just a lot was happening this year for him. He released Need to Know, which I fell in love and thought was super cute R&B. The music video is cute. I swear the dancer looks like Momo in certain scenes. I don't know why, but I think it's just a me thing. But like that was fun. That was a very cute music video. They tried to make him a dork in that music video. I'm just like, he's not a dork. You can tell. You can't just put glasses on a guy and say he's a dork. It doesn't work that way. But yeah, it was cute. And then I think you have a single sat as well.
Oh yes, the Tabor single called 007. So it's like 007, like a reference to
oh yes, of
movie,
course, James
right?
Bond. Yes.
James Bond. So it's exactly what you would expect from like a James Bond type single, like smooth R&B. And he has a feature on it. I think it's Syd, S-Y-D. I'm gonna assume that's how you pronounce it. But when they reach the bridge and they're harmonizing together, it was like amazing. So this is like a smooth R&B song that really stuck with me this year.
Lovely. Tabor I go back and forth on. There was like one song that he was a feature in that I absolutely love, but I don't know, maybe I just need to listen to more of his stuff, because like I don't think it's him. I think it's just like for some reason it doesn't always click with me what he does, but I don't know. I think it's more of a me problem than a him problem, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, EPs. Only 3 listed on my end because I guess I don't know. I didn't pay attention to a lot of R&B EPs this year. I guess most of the stuff I saw was albums for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's just me or a single. But anyway, because I swear there was definitely more EPs put out, but there were really 3 I paid attention to. First we got Davida with American Gothic, her second EP. Finally, she makes a comeback. I think it's a pretty solid follow-up. She definitely gets more into her soulful R&B singing in this one. I spammed the fuck out of Eat Your Heart Out, Buddy Kane. For that being an intro, holy shit, I love the production on that one. I spammed the hell out of that. I was such a fan, and the music, I guess the quick little music video for that's gorgeous too. I wish it was longer, honestly. Like, why was it an intro? It needed to be longer. It just needed to be longer.
Such a small mini too.
I know. It just needed to be longer. And Bonnie and Clyde's a good follow-up single. Yeah. I'm still confused why there were people dressed like the characters from Cats in the background at one point in her music video, but you know what? Fuck it. It's her shit. But yeah. I mean, she's had an interesting year too. I mean,
Davida's voice is just so amazing.
It's so good. It's like fucking honey. I'm just like, cover me in honey. Cover me in honey drip drip. Like, it's so heavenly. It's so good. I just love it.
Bonnie and Clyde is actually my favorite off that one.
Really? I mean, it is her title track. She did choose a good one for the title track.
Yep. And I actually went to the tour when she came to New York.
That's right. How was she live?
It was the Above tour with Kugi, Woo, Sogum, DJ Wagon, and her. It was so good. The women are so good. Davida and Sogum, their voices are so much better live.
I feel like they would be such good live performers, and it's like Sogum I feel like gets some shit for her singing. Not to derive it too much, but
she is like you either love her or you don't really like her vibe.
Yeah, she has a very unique voice that some people are either a fan of it or not. But I think it's great. I think she has a great voice. Also, I've noticed too with AOMG, they're doing these tours with only like a few of their artists at each section now. Because now they got another tour happening now with like who? What is it? Is
now
on it? Ehai?
It's Yoogyeom, Lehigh, Gray. Who else?
Jay's not on this one, right? No,
Jay Park's not going.
It's Loco going?
Simon Dominic's going.
Oh, Simon Dominic, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Loco, Simon Dominic, Yoogyeom, Ehai, and Woo. I think Woo is going again on this one.
Oh, Woo is going again. Well, hey, I guess he has the time for it. Whatever. Have some fun. Yeah, no, but it's interesting that they're doing like these almost smaller subgroup tours within AOMG, because then again, they have so many artists now under AOMG. It's like insane how big that company grew. But yeah, no, good follow-up single from Davida. Almost was my number one this year, probably. Then I realized it was an EP, then I'm like, oh, well, okay. Well. But also, like, I think I liked another album more from this year. Moon Soo-jin, Lucky Charms. I'm glad she finally got an EP. I liked it a lot. I don't think it's necessarily her best work, but, like, I really enjoyed it. It was good for me. It's Moon. Anything Moon touches, I'm just gonna probably be a basic bitch and like it at this point. Like, I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. She also released an English single. I'm just like, yep, that's going on the playlist. I don't care if it's basic or not. She sounds great singing English. Don't care. I don't even know how much she speaks English, honestly, but like,
she doesn't at all.
Yeah, she's good at it. She's good at pretending she knows what she's singing. You know, which hey, whatever.
But
works.
if you realize, because Moon Soo-jin's part of like the SM sub-label, a lot of the SM English songs, their pronunciation is so good. Like, yeah, if you listen to like Dio from EXO, his English and Spanish versions, their pronunciation is so good.
I'll give SM this. As much as I don't know if you've heard about a shit on SM lately, Sat. We have a habit of shitting on SM Entertainment lately because we're just not a fan of some of the recent decisions.
I don't really like their recent K-pop stuff either.
Yeah,
but vocally, they still got it.
They still got it vocally. Now, if only they let their artists actually sing instead of rap the whole time. Looking at you, NCT and maybe aespa, and not just have one bridge going, ah!
Yeah, they have a lot of...
That's another fight for another day, though.
Talk rapping. They have a lot of talk rapping, which I don't really appreciate.
I mean, we're talking about best hip-hop from the Korean hip-hop scene. I think we're more inclined to favor this sort of stuff more than the talk rap. It's like, it's funny whenever I hear, it's like, going off on a little tangent, I guess. I mean, I'll say at least first, Moon Soo-jin, clearly she found some good connections from the vocal department to know how to say words in English. Well, she's utilizing the SM inventory, which good for her. But on the topic about idol rappers, for a quick brief mention, it's just like anything in comparison to like regular Korean rap, it just doesn't compare. So when I see these arguments about like who's the best idol rapper, who's the best, I'm just like, bitch, there's the Korean hip-hop scene right there. There's a reason why these guys are not more popular, and why when you see someone like Zico actually become popular, it's a bigger deal because the people are like, oh shit, he's actually good. There's a reason why.
For SM, if Mark Lee actually like tries, I think he could be really popular and really good.
He could, but they also utilize him like a goddamn workhorse. At this point, he's like that donkey that's been used for everything throughout its life, and now it's just like, well, I wouldn't say he's a donkey, but like he's just so overworked. The guy, they literally stick him into everything for some reason. Not to say that he's not talented; he has talent, but it's like he also the fact that SM's not letting them do like solo EPs for some reason for NCT besides a random one-off single here and there. I'm just like, what the hell's going on lately there? Okay, I can't rant about SM continuously. Moving on. Giselle. Therapy session. Speaking of which.
Oh, no.
Might need one. Might need one. Another therapy session to get off of ranting about SM Entertainment. But no, this was a really solid EP. Great to see Giselle put out some more music, because she was kind of quiet for a little bit. I think, was she under Million Market too? And this was like her first release after she left? I think so.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, again, Moon's still on the Million Market. So like, Moon, get the fuck out of there. Join AOMG at this point, girl. At this point, just join AOMG. You collaborate how many goddamn times with CK? Like, come on. Anyways, Giselle's first release after leaving Million Market. So good. I really liked all the songs of this. She has a fantastic voice. I fell in love with her singing after the Automatic single dropped. Thank you for that one, Chancellor. Thank you for giving us the nice, lovely thirst trap of, what was it, 2020 or 2021? I forgot when that song came out, but it's still hot. Yeah, Giselle just killing it. Great job, girl. All right, moving on to albums. Of course, my R&B album of the year, Soleil, Imagine Club.
Me too.
Yes. Bless, girl, bless. We love it. If you know it's my favorite, just watch, or actually, you'll probably just. We have a shortened version of our awards from prior if y'all are interested. If not, if you want to hear me talk about all this, there's the longer 3-ish plus hour award show on YouTube, and then it's split into 2 parts in like our audio wherever you find podcasts. But Soleil Imagine Club, God, Soleil. I remember when I think it wasn't, what was that? It wasn't what was it? It was like the that Michael Jordan's collab. You know what I mean? With Davida and her and some other dudes. Yes. I forget what it's called now, but was it BTOB or something like that? I forget. Not the idol group. It was something similar along that, but it was really good. She was fantastic in that, and that cued me, and I'm like, ooh. And then conveniently, Davida, I guess, recommended it on Twitter this year to be like, if you like me, go listen to Soleil. I'm like, okay, party. Look at that, sisters supporting sisters. We love it. Yeah, Soleil's fucking fantastic, and Imagine Club is such a good album. It's not the type of R&B I usually go for, but she makes it so much more fun, and it's like the concept of it is fantastic. I mean, her physical album release is almost like a K-pop freaking album. Clearly Amoeba Culture paid attention, was all like, oh, we can work with this. And they did. So good for them. But yeah, Soleil, so good. So good.
I listen to this album like all the time. If I go on a long drive, I'm listening to this. If I'm working, I'm listening to this. If I just want to sing along, I'm listening to this. It's like you can listen to this at any point in time.
It's like, Sad, are you like her top 1% streamer on Spotify?
Probably.
For this album release. I mean, it's easier to do with these guys, honestly. Yeah. At least coming from the West, I will say. So harder to do with the K-pop homies, especially if they're popular. New Jeans, but yeah, good stuff. Really good album, fantastic album. And then we got Rad Museum with Rad. Yay. Rad Museum, surprise favorite single of the year, for me at least, Offline, which featured a wild Dean. Dean's coming out of nowhere. Dean. Just like, hi, Dean. Hi, how are you? When's that album gonna drop? Oh, Dean. Either he's a perfectionist or he just, maybe there's certain parts of the industry he just doesn't want to deal with and is just delaying his album release. But as long as he's getting an income, who cares? Anyways, Rad Museum. Yeah, this was a solid album. I think it's very unique compared to his contemporaries. And it's cool he got to get a lift off of a song this year that I thought was really fun and funky and all around fun. And actually it's a good message of, maybe you should log off the computer a little bit more from time to time, disconnect from the internet. Explore the world outside. I don't know if he said that, but just get offline. He's like, get the fuck off the computer. I'm like, you know what? Yes, I will. Rad. Thank you for reminding me.
This is the first time I've heard of him, and I love that album as well.
Yeah, good stuff from him. All right, we got Elo with Reality Check. Elo released a full album after a while. Yay! He's kind of like, I feel like the forgotten R&B singer of AOMG a little bit. But he's been there since the beginning. I will never forget Elo. I mean, we won't, but like I feel like for other people, when you look at AOMG, you think of other artists, I feel like, before him for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest here. But Reality Check, solid album, fun. I like the design of I don't know why I think of the design of it. It's just like a cloud in a room. Cause like, why not? Why not have a cloud in a beige room? But Elo, great voice. Always been a solid R&B singer, and it's nice to see him still continuing on with that. And then we also got Babylon with Ego 90s. Very heavy R&B ballad focus. So if you're maybe not as big of a fan of ballads, this might not be your thing. But Babylon just has a fantastic voice. He kills it. And he shows that he can be a nice crooner. And I feel like this is an album that a lot of people in Korea would absolutely adore. I don't know if they do necessarily, but like, he has the voice for it. So, did you also listen to this album, Sat?
I did. It was a really big ballad album, but the vibes were really good. All the 90s vibes were good. It's not an album that I went back to a lot.
Yeah, not same for me too, because like it's ballads. There's only for me, ballads is kind of like there's only so much I can always handle when it comes to a ballad, but I won't deny greatness, and that's
He
some good
also
shit.
released like a follow up to this, I think, right?
Yeah, he released a part 2. I forget if it's a remix album or if there's like just more 90s songs.
Yeah, I didn't listen
I
to
know
it.
there's a part 2 though, technically speaking. I have to double check on that later. I think I missed that one, but I like this one that he released. We got Kavish with Sin City. Kavish, again, I noticed him after the Automatic remix. I was like, oh, your voice is hot. Okay, I'm here for this. So Sin City, I felt like was that kind of like pop R&B kind of vibe that I vibed with. And then the song After Effect, especially from this album, I played a lot. Oh my god, addicting. Geary Boy shows up in it too, as well, because, you know, why not? More Geary Boy. Yeah, really good. I enjoyed the singing a lot. This was a fun one for me. Say, yes, Baby Yana's former group mate, or just more, say it's a more well-known one, though. She came out with, Cinema, which I learned is how you pronounce it. It's, say, Inema, Cinema, ha 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 ha. I get what you're going with. Good album. Nice jazz elements to it. It's also a long album as well, but it definitely fits Say a lot. It's well executed. It's well done. And then I heard of the next album, but I didn't listen to it as much. But you can probably take it away with this one, Sat.
Oh, I had something. I had a song from the Say album I really liked. Do you you know the Experience? I think it's called. It was like
yes.
Period.
Yes.
I love that one. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that one was good.
And I really like the beginning of the album more than the second half.
Yeah. I forget how long everything this album is.
It's so long. It's like 20 tracks.
I mean, she's like, you want music? Here you go. Here's a ton of music, which, like, fair, honestly, you know?
Like, everything above the interlude, I loved. So that was good.
That happens sometimes, but, yeah. And then we also got...
The last album here is Steven. I don't think a lot of people heard about Steven. I actually didn't hear about Steven. I only listened to this because our friend posts a lot of
oh yes, Mr. Albums. K Music every day.
Yes.
Mr. K Music. One of my bigger news tracker people. Of course, he does it for free. Thank you, KME, for that. Check him out also on if I don't use TikTok, but he does have a TikTok thing. So if that's what y'all are interested in, check him out. He also has a SoundCloud and stuff like that. I keep name dropping him every time. But yeah, check out KME for good recs. He knows quality music when he sees it. But yes, Steven, a youth in 1969. You were saying about this one. I think this was the first time I heard him too, girl. I'm pretty sure.
Right. So this is like, if Soleil was male, this is how much I listen to the Steven album. Like, I listen to that all the time.
If Soleil really had pecs, if Soleil had man abs. I'm kidding.
But yeah, I listened to it just as much as the Soleil album, so it was really good. It was nice vibes.
Good vibes. See, good vibes only. That's the vibe of this year is good vibes only. And you know who else has good vibes only? The best of hip hop do. Woohoo! Moving on, we got first off the singles for best hip hop. We got Jay Park, To Life. Here's a toast to life. Yes, Jay Park. Starting off the year right. He dropped this as soon as he announced that he was stepping down as CEO of both of his companies that he founded. And then, of course, was going to be the start of More Vision. And then, of course, the drop of Juan Soju, which apparently has been doing very well, which is good. Hard to break into the soju market, I hear. So good for him. Make some money off of that. He might have made more money off the soju this year than the music, which is whatever fuels your income, I guess. But yeah, To Life, great. I think it's a cha-cha production. So great cha-cha production. Toast to Life, good reminder, especially after we're getting out of the thick of COVID, but it's still kind of a problem-ish, kind of, but it's still not, it's getting better. It's getting better. So, like, this was a nice song at the beginning of the year to kind of, like, just like, okay, we're making it through. Keep going. All right, we next got Camo with A Freak Like Me. You want a little freak like me. She is actually having a comeback in February. Who knows? It might be I think it's gonna happen either very close or by the time this episode drops. So that'll be fun. Yes, Freak Like Me. This was a fun one. It's just her being her own little toddy thoughty, you know. I mean, this cover art album of this single is her like kind of like a ski bunny, except she's wearing a bikini going down the slopes. Cause like, you know, yeah, okay, checks it out. That's her deal. Fun single. A newbie coming up in the ranks, YLN Foreign with Lowrider. It's giving old school 90s vibes, but like 90s also with like an R&B like vibe production to it, with like a little bit of R&B influence in the production. So really like it, and I really love this single. That's what's a fun one to go back to. A hype single of the year with Skinny Brown in the Quiet, and I think Super B was on this one. I might be wrong on that, but Victory. Fun one to listen to, very hype. I forget if this was for an advertisement, which I think it might have been, but this was fun to listen to. A really good hype track, especially if you want to, you know, work out or something, like pumps you up. Of course, I gotta at least mention a couple things off of Street Man Fighter, although not necessarily about Street Man Fighter itself, because that show was apparently a shit show from the get-go. But the one good thing about Street Man Fighter, as similar to the one good thing about 50 Shades of Grey, they have one thing in common. Somewhat decent singles off of the official OST. With with 50 Shades of Grey, it was like The Weeknd's Earn It. With SMF, it is Zico and the Homies with New Thane, and BB and Yuming Ray with Law. Wow. New Thane became, of course, the chart darling of these two. And it's nice to see Zico, of course, getting more in touch with his hip-hop, like straight up hip-hop side, and just like go ham with the homies. Also great to see the homies get some clout this year. Look at them go. Look at Korean Migos go. Killing it. Good for them. This was a fun hype song. It spawned a TikTok dance. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. This was fun. Would not complain about this one. Of course, I wish Law got a little bit more love too on the Korean charts, but alas, I loved it at least. BB and Yumin Ray. I mean, it's BB and Yumin Ray. BB has also been on a roll this year. She released an album, Low Life Princess, earlier this year. Yeah, she's been killing it. She also had a single from that called Animal Farm, which the music video is probably one of the best music videos I've seen this entire year. Holy cow, it's a well shot production. And then I think it's was it not I don't think it's called Napunya in the English title, but that's what I keep referring it to. But that's a really good single as well. Oh wait, it's BB Vengeance. There we go. It's called BB Vengeance, but really good. And then of course her mentor / boss, because Human Ray runs the company she's BB's under. Also really good. Great to see Human Ray rapping again. I just Human Ray, an icon, a legend of our times. Law was just a fun hype song. The homies are back again on the singles list. Not for Broken Ferrari though, but I really spammed the living shit out of K-Land. Wow. Talk about hype trap. So good. So good. You want to pregame for a party? Oh yeah. You want to pregame for the workout? Oh yeah. K-Land got your back. So good. And then we got Balming Tiger with Sexy Noon Kim. And of course, before they dropped this, they, of course, I think it was either RM or Balming Tiger themselves, released a few photos with them taking a picture of RM. And I'm like, oh my God, a collab needs to happen today. Stat, I need this to happen. And guess what? It fucking happened. Oh, thank God. I loved it so much. So good, in my opinion. Nice, quirky music video. Hell, they even released a dance practice music video, which made me die, because it's one of the funniest things ever. It's so good. And of course, RM was solid too on the track. RM, in my opinion, is one of the better / the best of the crop of idol rappers we have currently, I would say. Yeah, I feel like the vibe of Balming Tiger would be RM's vibe, and I hope he does get to try out a vibe similar to them in the future for his own solo work. That's not to say the solo work he released this year was bad. No, the solo work for Indigo was fantastic. Really enjoyed that. But yeah, no, this was a fun collaboration. Highly recommend people listen to it if they haven't yet. And then, of course, the one, the only, Jackie Y is back. She is alive, people. And she decided,
so
of all places to
surprising.
join, and of all places who she decided to join, AOMG, probably for most people, did not expect this. Probably one of the least expected ones that she could potentially join. But she joined AOMG. And so far, she released a single, Go Back. It's hype. It's Jackie Y. She's here in your face. She's all like, bitches, you telling me to go back to China? No. No. She calls out the people. She's like, no, we're not doing this. But she's having fun. She's killing it. Yeah. I hope she gets to release an EP again soon. Hopefully this upcoming year. Would love to see that. But we shall see. Jackie Y could just release a single and then dip and leave AOMG for all we know. But I hope she does get featured in collabs more. So we'll see what happens there. All right, moving on to EPs. We have Cheja with J-Ho. This is Cheja is from Dynamic Duo, for those who don't know. This is probably, he's released a couple singles in the past, but this is probably his first like actual physical project I can think of that he's ever released. And when did he start his career? In the late 90s, possibly? Early 2000s, I think? Holy cow.
He's a grandpa.
Yeah, when he was like when him and Gecko and another dude were a trio, but then that other guy that was part of the trio of them decided to fraud and all that shit happened. I explained it in the hip-hop introduction to hip-hop video, but basically it led to Cheja and Gecko becoming just a duo, and clearly that worked out in the long run way more. But yeah, this was the first time he released an EP by himself, and it's a pretty solid EP. I don't know why it took him as long, who knows, but yeah. And for those who are unaware too, you might recognize him as being one of Soleil's former exes, probably her most famous ex, I would say. And because it was all discovered because someone Dispatch somehow acquired his wallet or an image of his wallet and saw a photo of Soleil in there. So that's how that shit happened. Yeah. That was a time. But that is for those of any of the K-pop homies that maybe like, who's he? Sounds familiar. That's why. And then we got Juan Dior, See Me Up, a pretty solid, again, hyper pop. Well, actually not full on hyper pop, but like a electronic trap EP from him. Good one to pay attention to. He's a newer up and coming rapper, so I'm curious to see where that goes. Omega Saipan with Wooga. Congrats to Omega for Plum getting chosen and used in the worldwide Apple commercial that happened last year. Good for him. Honestly, God bless. I thought his AP Wooga was pretty damn solid. Plum was easily my favorite, but he also did a single with Vernon I thought was decent. I know, Vernon collaborating with Omega Saipan. Something I never thought I imagined seeing, but hey, you know what? If it inspires if it inspires Vernon's solo work, then go ahead. And I'm talking about Vernon of 17 fame. And then we also have Justice with Do Not Go Gentle into That Good Night 2. Even though the first one was technically a single album release, but Good Night 2, I'll say Good Night 2 for the sake of this, is an EP. And it's just Justice, being Justice, rapping like Justice, killing it like Justice, owning your ass and sounding like he can speak good English Justice. You know, just more of him. And then we have a collaboration EP with producer Wayched and Unofficial Boy with I. Solid EP, one of the a good release from Unofficial Boy this year. He's been pretty busy this year. A little bit of a workaholic. Yeah, he has good collab. Wayched been busy this year too. He also released his own album too. Wayched, It's Your Way. Yeah, both of them doing well. This was a solid collab. I had fun. OD Scumbag Season. Now, as of recent, formerly I guess of VMC, because VMC as a label is technically dead now? Question mark? Or will be in February. They'd made the announcement that they were going to close the label in earlier this month. Or I think last year, I forget, but very recently they announced that. So yeah, that's happening. But OD Scumbag Season is just a fun, definitely I wouldn't say grimy rap, but like, you know, you're a typical like rap artist that's like, I'm not describing this well, but like he it's not like trap or anything like that. It's like fun. It's like reminiscent of like 90s old school rap in a way. And then we got kind of a surprise collab for me at least, but Blase and Chillin' Homie with the EP A Team. Chillin' Homie, Blase does more. Blase and Chillin' Homie decides to take a stab at drill, I guess, and he kills it. And I'm not complaining. This was a really tight, solid EP release. So yeah, that's been fun. And I guess speaking of Blase, Blase, right before this year, also did release his own solo album, Blase, which I think I talked about last year a little bit. That was a really great album that I kept on listening to. But this year, he also released another album, Multiverse. Holy cow. Oh my god. The drill was popping off on this EP. Poppin', poppin', pop it, pop it. Pop it for sure. Pop it, bop it, slap it, whop it, who knows. But yeah, this was a fun album from, oh yeah, sorry, we're moving on to albums now. This is a fantastic album from Blase, Multiverse, highly recommended. Great hype album, and really kind of solidifies to me, maybe Blase should be the only one doing drill. And with the exception of, you know what, maybe I'm okay with Chumel doing some drill, but honestly, Blase should just be the main one doing it. What do you feel about that on that set?
Yes, I love this album so much. It's like a really good gym album. And my biggest takeaway from him is that he's a giant. He was on Show Me the Money and it's just towering over everybody.
Yeah, he's a tall boy. I don't know what they fed him when he was a kid. Maybe he was able to drink milk, but he is a tall, long boy. Or man in this case. Yeah, I don't know if he's done military service, but he'd probably be A-okay doing that shit, honestly. And then, actually, speaking of which earlier, Weichen, It's Your Way. Solid producer EP, hip-hop producer EP. Couple singles. I really like the Chumel single on this one. Trying to think what else came from this. There were a couple other ones that were pretty solid. I think it's Spin the Block too was also pretty solid from this. Yeah, this was nice to see Weichen do his own work. I don't think this was this. I think this was more so a album rejects that didn't make it into a project that included an AP. I didn't think it was as mediocre, which is good. And that was fun. I liked it. Epic High returned again this year with Epic High's Here Part 2. I think I liked Epic High. I think I liked Part 1 a little bit more, but I think this was still a solid release from them. You know, not terrible. Pretty good. What else do we have? We have C-Jam with Gen, his last official release with just music right before he signed on to Deja Vu. He literally dropped it the last day of his contract, I think. Gen is a fantastic follow-up to Kun, his smash hit, highly critically praised album from prior. That one album of the year, I think the year it was dropped too. So it's still considered to this day the second highest a critically praised hip-hop album in Korea, right behind Esen's The Anecdote. Gen is a great follow-up to that. Great to see him still incorporate guitar in his music, which I think makes him stand out a lot more. It gives kind of almost like, I wouldn't say full-on Western, but it definitely gives a Western vibe to it. I really enjoy it a lot. And then in a very surprising move this year, for what we thought was Hui leaving Higher Music, turned out to be a ruse. It was an April Fool's joke, and apparently the April Fool's joke was he was going to become a new person called Lil Mosh Pit and release an album the same day on April Fool's, AAA. AAA. My god, this is a trap album of the year, I think. This is such a fun album. He just goes ham. It's completely different from what he does as a duo producer in Groovy Room, but it's definitely uniquely his own thing, and who knows, he'll probably help create some more hype trap music coming from the AOMG and Higher Music sphere, so it'll be very interesting to watch.
I hated that promo so much when I thought that he was gonna leave. April Fool's in general is just a bad day. I don't like it.
I know, it's like confusing, but no, he fooled us. He got us. He got us good. He really did. Because no one probably saw it.
I really like that album as well.
I mean, the Paul Blanco single, the Die Hard single with Reddy and Swervy. Oh my god. Yes, I love that shit. Especially since they were on the hardcore EP, which I'm sad. I'm like, I hope they're able to do hardcore again in some iteration because now Highlights ended. But that was such a solid release. We got next Untel, Human the Album. Untel, I nominated him this year as well, along with Blase. Holy cow. Untel is such a fun talent, up and coming. Just love his stuff. Very unique, very futuristic, future forward type of release. Where Are You From is easily one of my favorite singles of the year on that release. It's so hard hitting, it's so fun, and I'm just like, it's such a fun time. Shout out to Paul Blanco for joining Ambition Music this year, but also for his release of Promised Land. The Canadian rapper, yeah, he's a Korean Canadian, if they say it like that. Korean Canadian. They might just call themselves Canadian, but he is ethnically Korean. He released a pretty solid album release. I've been a fan of his kind of style of like rapping and I guess rap singing as well, because he does sing. It's one that doesn't annoy me. I like it a lot. I go back to it quite a bit. Solid release. It puts you in the mood. It makes you kind of emo a little bit, but not too emo. We got Toygo with Jiggy Boy. He is part of the Undersun Su Bridge crew. He released an album this year. Jiggy Boy, it's a nice, cool, very Toygo type of track. Type of vibe, the album. It's fun. It's totally him. I enjoy it a lot. All right, and then we got our favorite sibling duo, the icons that are from Miami, who grew up in Miami, Gold Buddha and Little Cherry with Space Talk. A follow-up to Sauce Talk. These two, my lord. They are both funny. They might not necessarily be the best artists ever either, but like, goddamn, their music is fun and uniquely theirs. Gold Buddha with his Power Rangers song. Oh my god. The pop punk that was steaming off of that is how you should do pop punk. MGK, you should pay attention to Gold Buddha on how you should do pop punk. Just saying, MGK. But yeah, Gold Buddha. Oh my god, that was so much fun. Power Rangers. It's so iconic, legendary. Little Cherry's song too with oh my god, with Jackie Y.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much a precursor.
Do you remember the music video
so
for that one?
Oh god, it was like done in like Sims 2 or something. I swear, the fuck.
It was so funny.
It was so fucking funny. Oh god. And then of course Golden Mulan, which they actually did a video where translators, like Korean translators who translate into English, had to listen to their song and attempt to translate it while they're doing it singing it live, and I'm like, oh my god, this is one of the fucking hilarious things ever. God, because sometimes some of the lyrics you can't really tell. They're good at the mumble rap stuff, but it's like so fucking hilarious, honestly. Highly recommend y'all search out that video if you can. But yeah,
I'll look that up.
But yeah, I like literally died when I saw it. I'm just like, holy shit. His translators were in for it. But yeah, this was a great album release. Just so much fun. These two just being themselves, they definitely get into the hyper pop for sure. Oh yes, Catwalk too. They had Rico Nasty.
That was my favorite.
Rico Nasty. Yeah. Well, good for her. I love Rico. Rico Nasty. Check out her work if you're into hip hop a lot. She got good shit. But like, oh my god, that just hyped me up because I'm like, oh my god, they're getting some bigger names on here. Look at them go. Also, of course, can't go away without mentioning the iconic single G from Lil Cherry this year. So good. G, come on, honey, let's go pie. Let's go pie.
Pie.
Let's go pie, y'all. Pie. But yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh god. Anything else you have to say for Space Talk?
No, that you covered it all. Catwalk was my favorite, and then Jackie being on it was a shocker because that was the first time she appeared after a long time. And then later in the year, we got the news that she was joining AOMG, right?
I know, right? Jackie just like, this is gonna be my comeback year, I guess. And I'm like, all right then. Cool. All right, moving on. We have another Chillin' Homie collab. Chillin' Homie was just collabing with everyone this year. He also released he was also in another like project, but I'm not covering it here because I didn't end up listening to it. But he also collaborated with rapper Khan for Bad Neighbors. Oh god, I'm not drill, but these two go fucking hard in this album. Another great album to listen to if you're at the gym working out. Def go in. It defs go in. Bad Neighbors. Highly recommend it. Producer Freddie Castle and rapper Diesel for Second to None. Wow, this is giving such old school Wu-Tang Clan vibes. Let me tell y'all, this is a phenomenal production, phenomenal rap from Diesel. Just so good. It's like a whole. It's giving noir storytelling vibes almost in a way. Just listen to it. It's fantastic. Check it out. And then we got newest rapper Siwar with How Much One. This one I nominate him for Artist of the Year as well. I was very pleasantly surprised. This was one of my biggest surprises of the year, and I love the production on this album. It's very unique compared to his contemporaries, and just he has really solid rap skills. You don't really know him. He's not really too available too much around here, but like it's so good, so good. Rapper Gamma, who apparently I guess him and his homies broke into Deja Vu office this year, but before he did that, he did put out a pretty solid album release, Aria 2 with Vendetta. He's been a solid rapper. I just wish that idiot just wouldn't go and just break into random labels. I don't care how much beef you have with Diesel, just don't do stupid shit like that, bro. But it's a solid album release from Gamma, and this was fun to listen to. Pentagon came back. He didn't release as much material as yet last year because, oh god, there was so much material he released last year. It was ridiculous. But he did release Vertigo. Vertigo, pretty solid album. Liked it a lot. I mean, it's more Pentagon. If you like Pentagon style, it's fantastic. Check it out. Unofficial Boys back again with a collaboration with producer Jazzy Moon for Fuck You. Even though it's FXXKU, but you get the picture. So good. He definitely dips back into like a 90s hip-hop inspired style sound, but a more modern take on it. Fantastic. Unofficial Boy really flexing his abilities out here and just pushing himself to the limit. Palo Alto releases a new album called Dirt this year, especially after stepping down as CEO from Highlight, and then of course making Highlight closing down Highlight this year. He joins up Daytona Records and releases a new album. New lease on life for him. Dirt is a really solid follow-up and a good fresh start for him. Literally just starting back down in the dirt, I guess, and getting back at it. Then we got producer Ian Cash with Icebox. A trap heavy record, very similar in a lot of ways to Lil Mosh Pit, except I think it goes harder in some aspects. Fun. Great for the gem. I listen to this a lot. And then we also got last one for P-Type.
P-Type was so good. There are so many of like my favorite features on there, like just this Don Malik one, For Sale My Rhythm, right? Or what is it called? For Sale My Rhymes. Never.
I think
that one was so good, right? That one like blew me away, and everything else was so good. And this is also a really good gym album.
Honestly,
Classic
it's definitely
right?
it's very 90s too, but it's like 90s gym playlist, honestly. P-Type's been a long time. He's been around the industry for a long time, so it's nice to see whenever he pops up to be like, I'm still here, bitch. I'm like, yes, you are still here. And now, so that's all of our favorite releases from this year, but now let's get into the news. Starting with, of course, the one and only premiere show that comes back around every now and then, Show Me the Money 11. Satsy, you paid attention more to this show than I did. I only really know the final four and the winners, and I was happy with those selections, frankly, for the most part. And I kind of watched a performance here or there, but not as much. But Sat, what are your thoughts on Show Me the Money 11 this year?
Okay, so I didn't watch all the episodes, right? But it's true. I did pay attention to it a little more than you. Yeah. And my thing with Show Me the Money, I think my main qualm about it is that for the past like 3 years, it's just been about the features. Like up until you get to the live shows, it's like, okay, it's really about the rapping, because even like the rap battles and stuff is really about the rapping. But once you get to the live shows, who wins and who doesn't win is just based on which big name they can get as a feature. Like because it all depends on streaming at the end of the day. Feature, you're gonna make it through.
Wait, who is a feature?
Homies.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
that if homies are on a track, that song is just gonna be about the homies now.
yeah.
And that's just how it's been for the past 3 years. And it's like, it's really not what I wanted from Show Me the Money. And I don't think it's
Yeah.
something that a lot of like fans of hip hop or want from Show Me the Money either. And a lot of the tracks are like R&B based too,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually a good thing for me. Like I like R&B, but this is Show Me the Money. It's supposed to
Yeah, it's like, why are
be
we
about
having?
hip
I
hop.
mean,
Yeah,
R&B and hip hop are tied together. That's not a lie. But at the end of the day, this is a hip hop rap competition, y'all.
exactly.
I'm
Hmm.
expecting more hip hop. Even if there's chill hip hop, I'm expecting it to be hip hop.
So
Why are
I
we singing?
understand
Why are
when,
we singing?
yeah, so like I understand why hip hop fans don't really like the Weinstein type people that make it to the finals because they just sing R&B.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But even the songs that we're getting for the finals this year, I really didn't like most of them. I only
Yeah.
really liked Sloam.
I mean, Sloam is
Even
a fantastic producer, though.
right. So I really like Sloam beats. Like a lot of the other beats were really just not for me.
I'm just
And
confused why the hell Riti was there. Why was Riti there?
oh, he was another issue for me, right?
Yeah, why the
So
hell was
he just
Riti is under YG, by the way, for those who don't know. He's a
all his
YG
tracks
producer.
were just YG reject tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we need this like ending? We don't need this.
Yeah, and I miss also like the chemistry between Justice and Groovy Room, but I knew that wasn't gonna happen again. So
Hmm.
I mean, I was glad to see Layla Mars and The Quiet there. I don't know how well their groups
They
did,
didn't
but
do well. They didn't have
yeah,
anyone in the final.
that sucks. But like, I
Yeah.
still like them as individual artists, though.
Yeah.
I don't. It might be also because they just didn't get the more popular people who signed up for the show for whatever reason,
Yep.
which is
And my
unfortunate.
other
But
thing is, right, I was very happy for Youngji for winning, right?
yes,
And there was like a
yes,
lot of criticism behind her winning. Most of it stems from the fact that she seemed like a celebrity more than an artist before she went on the show, right? Because she never really released music. She won High School Rap Star. She didn't release an album. It was just like a bunch of singles, and she's been on like a bunch of shows, and she has a YouTube channel, and that's what she's famous for now. So I understand where it's coming from, but I think the root of that criticism comes to sexism.
yep,
There's a
absolutely,
reason
absolutely.
there's a reason why there's only ever like one, maybe one female going to the live shows.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue Sins could have like won it last year, but like that didn't happen. Uh,
Exactly.
but like if she was close, I mean, not to say that Kwanil Joe was bad. Kwanil Joe was really good too. If he was more sucky and he won, then I would be more pissed. But she didn't completely not release music. Like it's been singles, that's true. But you know, it's
She's
better than
released
Han.
singles
It's
that
better
were,
than Han. It's frankly
yeah.
because Han hasn't released music by himself since 2019. He's just been
Hmm.
appearing in features. She at least is putting out singles at least a couple times a year. You know, so let's
She's
see,
doing it as
2020
a
she put out
feature,
singles.
or she's doing it based off of shows that she's on.
Yeah, there's only like a couple shows she's on.
Hmm.
She released a few singles, so it's mainly been singles. But you know, it's not that she isn't putting out music. And
Yeah,
maybe she wants this to help revitalize her career a little bit because maybe she feels a little bit lost in the music. Whatever, you
exactly. And
know.
there's
But
nothing
she has
wrong
been
with that.
she has been
Like,
consistently
you
putting out
need
music
to
though.
make money to be able to make albums,
And it's kind of
is
hard to
what
make
people don't
money too
understand.
from music
Yeah,
alone these days, especially when it
that's
comes to
why.
streaming.
Yeah. So that's why she was doing all these things. Like, she needed to make money first.
Yeah, and if making money, you know, is what she has to do there, then that's what she has to do. Like,
Mhm.
actually, I'm curious. I might just look up what Since's catalog is. I know she dropped an album before she went on the show, but I don't know
Oh, Since
how
has
much
released a
music.
lot of music.
Like recently, I know she has. Like,
No, even before she went on Show Me the Money, she at least had albums.
okay, yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. She did at least have albums, but
Yeah.
clearly that didn't help her winning the goddamn show.
No, no.
Like, she only started releasing music in 2020, like couple singles,
Yeah.
three single. thing, a couple singles. She didn't really release an album till like 2021 that had 9 songs, and then another single, and then like had an EP last year, and then another single. So like not more than Yoonji, but like not super huge, but also pretty damn new to the scene. Like,
and that's
her
like
and
another
thing,
started
very
right?
closely.
There's another thing that Show Me the Money. Like, people go on the show to get known. So you shouldn't
in order to get more brand deals and shit. Because
right. So you should expect for them not to have released too much music, because you're trying to find the next big star. It shouldn't be a who's popular in the scene already contest.
Exactly. I mean, I could understand if they're some kind of popular, but they really go on the show to try to get more money so then they can open themselves up to brand deals and shit. I kind of get that, because you can only make so much money off of streaming these days, which I kind of understand. Because like the bigger popular rap artists and hip-hop artists and whatnot, they have brand deals, you know? Let's not kid ourselves here. They're either selling their own fucking merch and shit, or they got like brand deals, you know? And that's like really where their money's coming in from. Is doing the brand deals. And basically pulling a Korean K-pop idol, pulling an actress or a model that gets, you know, CF deals and shit. That's what gets the money these days, unfortunately. It's advertising.
And features, apparently, because everyone that's in the finals does like 1 million features the year after.
I know, right? If it helps get your name out, then so be it, you know? Exactly. Like, I don't mind Yoonji not having a big enough catalog. And she's also one of the first few people to win High School Rapper in another show. So good for her. She literally only just started because she probably had to wrap up high school, you know, don't you think? Get that. That's probably why she didn't put out as much music afterwards, because she had to finish up high school and then try to figure out where her career was going next.
Yep.
Yeah, just saying. Just saying.
If
also
she
just the amount of
she was a
male,
she wouldn't have gotten this much criticism.
No, that's the facts. That's the facts right there. Because especially lately, I hate to say, in South Korea, there's a lot of anti-feminist movements happening. The men feel a little bit threatened there. I mean, there's been issues with misogyny too in South Korea. Honestly, frankly, that's probably one of the reasons why it's too many people have way too much of an idealistic view of South Korea. I will tell you this: if you come from the West, I haven't. I mean, I shouldn't say this because I haven't really been there, but based on what I've read up on, a lot of cultural discussion about South Korea, I would not be happy living there long term. Like, let's be honest here. It's very misogynistic society. It has a technology that can be argued to be more advanced than, say, the States, but the societal views and opinions are very backwards. Something that I think a lot of people from the West would have a problem with, in my opinion. So, don't romanticize places, but also, like, that's the reality check of the situation. And unfortunately, it leads to things like Yoonji getting criticized more unfairly just because, oh no, she doesn't have a penis, you know, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But congrats to her. I'm glad finally a woman won this goddamn show, and I'm glad she was the one that ultimately was, well, I don't want to say chosen, allegedly. Well, this is Mnet we're talking about. They're not, they haven't, it's not to say Mnet hasn't vote rigged before, but I'm glad she won, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not implying that they vote rigged her in, though. I want to make that clear. But, like, it's Mnet. I wouldn't be surprised. But either way, she won the goddamn show. I hope it was due to votes. I hope they did not rig this show for whatever sake. But
she was very good. Like, I love
she's
her
fantastic.
Voice, so she's always great.
She's fantastic. She's a fantastic artist. I think it's justified and fair. I mean, you could have made the argument, too, for Since last year. But, like, Gwanil-jo, I think, was pretty equally matched to her, in my opinion. I don't know how you feel about Gwanil-jo, but, like, if Gwanil-jo was worse, then I would have been more pissed, but, you know.
He's good, and I appreciate what he does. It's just not something that I like.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't absolutely love Gwanil-jo's stuff, but, like, I can't deny that I don't think he sucks. And I think his win last year was
It
fair.
takes skill for him to do what he does. Like, that speed rapping is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely fair that he won last year, even though I wish it's like, just do a tie, god damn it. But, you know, that's not how it's gonna work. But yeah, Since put up a fight. Since had pretty good competition. But glad for Yoonji. But moving along to more news, because we actually have more news to talk about. All right, we'll start with ambiguous territory news. So, not completely right off the bat, but right off the bat of Crush making a comeback after his military service, he was accused of racism when he allegedly did not high-five at least 2 people from a stage area who allegedly were black. I don't know. I didn't see the footage. I didn't see a ton of the footage. Couldn't tell from a distance if they were black or not, but this is what was told. There were 2 people black at his concerts. He, claimed that it was allegedly was raining, and he wrote a thing explaining the situation. It was due to a fan behavior, aka like pushing and shoving, that led him to skip some people's high fives. Some people claim other videos say the otherwise. I don't really know for sure, but this basically, excuse me, people kind of just assumed that he was basically being racist and didn't want to high five people's skin, and then other people came to his defense because they're like, he's nice to black people, he's not a racist, blah blah blah. Hence why this is ambiguous news territory, because it's kind of like, was he being a jerk? Was he trying to be safe? Who knows? It's a concert. I think it was one of his very first concerts back from the military, so who knows? Honestly, what is your take on this, Sat?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't think he's a racist. I think it got blown out of proportion a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody except for the people that were at the concert were there and actually saw what happened. We're just going off of like clips, and I don't think the people that were actually involved in this thing had anything to say about it, did they?
I'm not sure, to be honest. A lot of this it sounded third person. I don't know if the people who felt, the 2, I guess, alleged, I want to say alleged, because I think they're both black, but like, I don't know. This is what they're claiming. This is what people are claiming. I feel like it's it sounds third hand. It could be from them. I'm not sure. I did not confirm that. But like,
so even the people that were standing there and were skipped, they can't see the whole stage either. So they don't know who he's high-fiving, who he's not high-fiving. I don't know. I think it was just...
Yeah. I think this was kind of blown up proportion.
Where they're like, put their hand out, take their hand back. So it's like, you really can't say. Like, to me, this was not really an issue.
And also, it's kind of like one of those things, it's one of those that's too ambiguous to tell whether he was doing it on purpose or not. Especially if there's like, he only knows if he was planning on just deliberately skipping the 2 people who were black in the audience. Like, and I don't think he's gonna admit that, even if he did, to be honest with you. Like,
and he did put out a statement, right?
He did put out a statement, but people were more confused by it, and I don't know if it ended up hurting him more than anything, but I think this was kind of something that was made into something that really probably wasn't as much. I don't think this was a big racial
really
discrimination mood from him. I think it was just an accident, or just something that he didn't really think of when he was smacking people's hands, and not really thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't casually just skip over them. 2 people over there. I don't think he was really thinking that. I think it's one of his first concerts back, and he's just like, all right, maybe we shouldn't crowd out. How should I do this again? Because it's been probably a while since he's done concerts. So it's like, I don't think it means, I don't think this proves he's a racist. I think there's much more definitive things that other people in the hip hop scene and the R&B scene have done that could prove that. Definitely ignorant, borderline racist stuff there. You know what I mean?
For sure. And also,
speaking of which,
like, take a step back and think about what kind of situation Crush is in when you're on stage and you have that adrenaline rush when you're performing. Like, a lot of people can't think straight either, so they don't really know. They're just excited and they're jumping around, high-fiving people. They don't really think about this kind of stuff.
And they're also thinking about making sure they say the lines they're supposed to say, hit their set list properly, and to make sure that they don't like fall or slip or hurt themselves while doing that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think this was more so this ambiguous kind of news is kind of not that much. What is a little bit more though is the Loopy and Kunni Panda beef, I guess, has continued on from the year prior, where Kunni, excuse me, decided to release a diss track on SoundCloud at Loopy. And Loopy apparently might or might not have thought back, but he also apparently had some ongoing beef with label mate Blue. By the way, Make It Rain closed down and Uncut Point was opened up, and Blue is still a label mate with him. And then Loopy also apparently allegedly said the N-word on an Instagram live. I guess the content of that was allegedly going back against some stuff that Son Simba was saying. Son Simba is a label mate of Kunni Panda, so there was some beef there for some reason. I guess Loopy decided it was a great time to say the N-words to make his argument or whatever, and he had to apologize about that. It's like, come on, Loopy. Come on, you're from the States. You know that even if they still in like Koreatown in LA, still some of them still say the N-word. And I will say, not having not been to Koreatown, but I knew someone who was Asian who literally called me the N-word. And I'm like, girl, I'm white. And she's just like, oh, it's something that we say in Worcester. Like, I'm like, girl, what? No. But so it is I will say it kind of still seems to be a thing in the States for that, but not appropriate for an international audience or a Korean-based audience to start saying the N-word randomly. Come on, buddy, you know better than this point. Loopy seems to keep putting his foot in his mouth in a lot of situations. So yeah. Yeah, do you remember Loopy, Sat?
Yes, I love Loopy. Maybe I don't like the stuff that he does, but I like some of his. It's like his music is so like Little Cherry like it's so memey that it's good.
Oh God, I it's funny because I prefer Little Cherry to him a lot. I feel like he uses I feel like he uses way too much auto-tune in his music, like way too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand it might be a stylistic. I feel like there's like other artists, like for example Chanmo, that I think use auto-tune in a much better way. Right. He doesn't heavily rely on it as much as Loopy does, so that's why I don't care for Loopy's music as much, but I do like a few songs from Loopy. But like, Loopy, get better at doing arguments.
I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to him, but if he's a feature or something, I'd be like, oh, this is funny.
Fair enough, but yeah. Loopy, do better. Come on, buddy. It's 2023 now at the time of this recording. Come on, bud. Come on. You know, of all people, not to be just throwing the N-word around, even on an Instagram live. Like, come on, dude. You could make better arguments than that. And getting into some really kind of depressing news, unfortunately, that I called it's time to cancel your ass, because honestly, screw these people. One of them is more so a rumor mill. And I want to emphasize that it's more so a rumor, but I think it's notable to mention that there was a strong rumor mill this year about several artists tied to the Korean hip-hop scene allegedly using fentanyl. And the biggest ones that were allegedly accused of that were members of the cohort crew that I saw in these speculation rumor mill stuff. Nothing official has been confirmed. I want to emphasize that. But this was a big rumor mill this year. And apparently in this kind of unfortunately, this kind of ties in line with the reports of soaring fentanyl usage rates and fentanyl charges in Korea recently in the past year, in the past couple of years. So yes, there may or may not be fentanyl within the industry, which is really depressing if this ends up being true. I hope this is only a rumor, and I hate how big this rumor thing got. But unfortunately, I have a sinking suspicion this won't be the end of it, which is really, really, really sucks. Fentanyl's a terrible drug for use. It should only be in hospitals for a reason. Fentanyl should only be used in a hospital under very, very appropriate dosages for that, and never used by anyone else, because that shit will kill you. So please, for the love of God, don't ever use fentanyl. Even if this is a alleged rumor mill, just don't do it. Don't use fentanyl, guys. Were you aware of this rumor, Sat, of this going around?
I think this was this rumor was talked about a lot last year. More than 20. It was talked about more in 2021, right?
Maybe, but I saw people talking about it in 2022 though. Mm-hmm. Mainly on I think it was the Soul Therapy podcast. That's kind of now an on and off podcast. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but they had a big discussion about this year.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But that's I guess it was more time.
There's this Korean celebrity that got caught with a lot of fentanyl because he was like putting it in food and he was giving it out. You know that guy?
Was he an actor or something?
He did a lot of like variety stuff.
Oh, shoot. I'm not really as good with the variety comedians.
He was like doing a lot of meat-based variety, like food-based stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
I forget his name,
putting it in meat?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
And taking it, and he had like group gatherings with it. It was like a lot.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
What the how did no one die from this?
That's the thing.
Jeez, how did no one die from that? What the fuck?
I think his name is Don Spike.
Don Spike. Oh, okay. Interesting. But Jesus
He's a
Christ,
singer,
that's terrible.
He's a singer
too. Oh,
too.
really?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember if it's fentanyl or meth. I think it was meth.
I mean, either or. It wouldn't be surprising.
It's a drug.
I mean, I mean, I hate to say it, I feel like the one that's most associated with Asia, unfortunately, is opium. So
Yeah.
honestly, you could have said all three, and I would have been like, makes sense, checks out.
Mm-hmm.
But opium feels more like an old-timey drug in a way, which is weird to say. Is that weird to say, old-timey drug? I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, that's one of those guys have to look into. But yeah, that's unfortunate that it's already seeping into, like, celebrities and stuff like that. That's not really a great thing to hear. And then we have, we'll talk about this guy before we talk about the big one from this year. Ocean Gum, unfortunately, was charged with, child, molestation, and then, sexual harassment. And this is, of teenage boys, I want to emphasize. Still really bad, because Ocean Gum was, like, I think just became an adult when he was charged with this shit. I don't know if these guys were trainees of a label he was under or something like that, or these are like high school kids. But like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I heard some of the more gross details about this. I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Why are you abusing your power like this on kids? What the fuck is wrong with you? For those who are curious about who the hell Ocean Gum is, he did feature on the Dingo Freestyle single Ding back in, what was it, 2019, if I'm not mistaken? When he was under Indigo Music at the time. Yeah. Trashy behavior. Don't ever abuse people like that. Just don't. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say, but don't be a piece of shit. Don't abuse people like that. Right, Sat? That's pretty much
Oh,
the
of
end of that.
course. Yeah. I
mean,
remember
that's
this
like the
coming
obvious one.
out, and I just took it out of my head because I couldn't take it. I was like, this is not something I want to read more about.
Conveniently though, Ocean Gum, like, I don't think he's put out a ton of music, and also I barely paid attention to this guy, so really it's kind of just like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. Like, why the fuck did you think doing something like this was okay? That's just what I question.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the worst news of the year, unfortunately, comes from, which I think is tragic considering I like this, like, collect crew a lot, and it's just really fucked up and sad. Basagon of the crew Legit Goons did apologize to Don Mills' wife, of whom he used to date before she married Don Mills, of course. And he, according to her, there's evidence too that he illegally filmed them, having sex and other terrible stuff using hidden cameras and stuff, and would share these tapes with his buddies and stuff without consent. Of course he did, because this seems to be the thing that a lot of men in South Korea do. I don't know if it's the lack of availability to porn or something, but it's like, Jesus Christ, guys, what makes you think this hidden camera shit's okay? It's like, have we not learned from Bernie Mokta? Apparently we haven't. Don Mills' wife originally reported this as it was an anonymous victim before eventually admitting that she was like the victim ultimately, and that there were other people involved that were victims. And then Basagon, because of this, ended up going to the police and turning himself in. And there were text screenshots, I guess, of these conversations and of these videos were ultimately revealed. And Don Mills' wife, because of that, I think of the pressure, almost attempted to harm herself, but it sounds like she's okay. And of course, poor Don Mills was dragged into all this as well because of the fact it's his wife. And yeah, for some reason, Legit Goons also thought it was a good idea to release their album this year, along with all this happening. So yeah, which is a big shame, because I actually did think this crew was pretty talented, and Basagon has put out some solid releases, but at this point, it's like, dude, you're a piece of shit. Like, I don't understand what makes you think that it is okay to not do consensual shit like this. Like, come on. Like, this shit's not okay.
I thought we got over stuff like this after the whole JJY case.
Like, the JJY case, Bernie Mokta, like, just... Like, and also the whole got and the Telegram cybercrime shit on, and what was it? Not Faker. What was the other guy's name? Actually, it doesn't even matter. He's a piece of shit. I think you know what I'm referring to, Sad.
I know who you mean.
Yeah, yeah. That it's like, come on, really, Basagon, really? No, this just sucks. Yeah, just don't be terrible like these people. Don't be terrible. I don't know what else to say. Just don't do shady shit like this. Actually, if you're gonna do stuff like that, ask your partner if they're okay with it. And they say no, well then suck it up and watch some porn, I guess. Or get a VPN to watch it. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, Consent is key, y'all. Consent is key. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about you know what? Let's continue the train of legal problems because we'll get the bad shit out of the way first. In legal problems news, Nuxel, unfortunately, he tried his best to beat his weed charge, but unfortunately, he was not able to and was actually sentenced to jail time. I think it was only about a couple years at most. Really unfortunate, but again, this is not surprising since Korea and Asia as a whole, not a big fan of drugs overall. Very harsh on drugs, even weed.
Oh, he's going to jail?
It's unfortunate. Yeah, he's actually going to jail. If he hasn't
I didn't even know
already.
that. Because he's actually on TV, like Korean TV shows.
Yeah. He's sentenced to jail time. I don't know how long it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be less than 2 years for sure, but like, it's unfortunate. It sucks because he tried to beat his charge and stuff like that, but it's like, they're like stupidly hard ass over weed and shit like that in Korea, in my opinion, but one could argue maybe it makes sense in some ways, but like, I mean, that's up to Korea to figure that out. But yeah, he had to deal with that, so that sucks. And then our favorite residential nepo baby, Noel, had legal problems.
Sick of him.
He had legal problems again. Besides 2 DUI cases, he also has an assault charge he had to contend with this year. His poor father. I mean, well, then again, I don't know. His father's a politician, so I know he's not really poor in that sense, but just like, he had to step down from his position because of his son's antics. And it's like, yeah, that's so weird to think, though. It's like nepo kids in Korean hip hop is such a weird thing. And he was pretty talented, too. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're wasting your career. Like, get over yourself. And then, marriage is what brings us together today news. Local Nuxel, Jimbo, and I think Chansuk, I forget how you say his name. They all got married. Woo, we love it. And then in military
Nuxel
news,
got married and he's going to jail. I'm sorry, that's not funny, but...
Oh, no, wait, not Nuxel. Oh my god. Sorry, Nuxel got married. I'm Nafla. I said the wrong person. It's supposed to be Nafla.
Nafla.
Oh, sorry, Nafla
now.
Was the one. I fucked up, y'all. I'm so sorry. Nuxel is fine. He's a good boy. He got married. Yeah. He's fine. Nafla lost his weed charge and was sentenced to jail time. Apologies. I totally confused the people.
It's still on TV, so I was very confused.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, Nuxel's still on TV doing his thing. He's fine. I wrote the wrong person there. I am so sorry. It's been a long day. In military news, Chunmo enlisted, and the boys, the youth there, love him. Shocker, considering how stupidly popular he is. This isn't a surprise at all. And it seems like it's allowing Chunmo to not drink as much, which is probably a good thing. So good. Glad the military is helping you out there. And then Crush, Zico, Jibanov, and Hashwan all finished their military services this year and got out. Woo! And then Crush and Zico released singles and an EP and stuff like that. So good for them. All right, and interesting mogul news, as I like to call it, or just company stuff news. Jay Park resigns as CEO of AOMG and Higher Music. However, he's allegedly still on as an advisor, and in my opinion, most likely still owns stock in the companies, which, I mean, I would at this point. He also creates the label More Vision and also launches One Soju. Sat, what do we think? Jay Park is making moves.
Yeah, I kind of ignore him as much as possible.
The fuckboy? Is it the fuckboy of it all? Is it the,
Sometimes he's just a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, he did appear at the Golden Disc Awards recently.
Oh, that was actually really fun. That was a really fun performance.
And Sakura is apparently in the background just covering Unche and I think trying to cover Newjean's eyes, being like, no! I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, Sakura, you have no idea how the shit that the Australian has seen, that Hani has seen probably in elementary school. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all, we see some shit that probably adults shouldn't see. I'm just saying. But yeah,
he should just stick with performing and making music and less with like talking on social media.
Yeah, he does put his foot in his mouth a lot on Twitter, not gonna lie. But apparently, yeah, just focus on being a business guy, Jay Park. This is probably for the best. In interesting news, because of probably Jay Park leaving and other factors, producer Woogie, CK, and JB all leave Higher Music. That was very shocking. Very, very shocking.
I wasn't
Um,
surprised by JB, but Sick-K and Woogie I was surprised by.
yeah,
And
CK
I'm surprised
especially.
Sick-K didn't take Ha-won with him.
I am surprised too. I hear to what I know that they're still looking for like a CEO in the Korean side of things. I don't know
Okay.
why Jay Park didn't try to get one sooner before he left, but who knows? Honestly, I mean, if you feel like you just have to cut it off, then you have to cut it off. Because technically, Cha Cha Malone's still that, but like it's weird with the Comac thing that they can't do certain things. I think because of
Mm-hmm.
not having a Korean CEO with the with that's connected to Comac and stuff like that. So like it's weird. CK, it seems like he's currently being a model. He hasn't really released music, so I guess he's enjoying
He's
his model.
touring. He's gonna tour a lot.
He's going to tour a lot. Okay, so he's going
Yeah.
to tour. So that's
Mm-hmm.
good. Um, it could be all related to that whole no CEO thing that's preventing him from doing stuff. So he's just taking a break. But he seems to be still be close with the higher crew.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
clearly, there's no hard feelings there.
He
But
also
yeah,
just like got back from his military service.
that's true. He did. He basically did. But yeah, and then JB in particular. I don't know about the other two. I don't know if Woogie and CK have joined the label yet. But JB has joined CDNZA, which I think is a very new label. I don't want to say it's created for him, but it's a very new label.
I
Let's
think
see.
it's his own label. I
It
think
might
he made
be.
that label. Yeah.
It would make sense. And then Justice leaves Indigo Music, which is a huge deal. He's been with them for a long time, and he goes to Grooveland, which is Robbie's label. Very
There's a lot of
interesting,
Robbie
especially since
news now. Did you hear about it?
recently, because Robbie has been accused of trying to skip the military, or at least cheat the system so he doesn't have to do like physical labor.
Yeah, he didn't want to do active duty, so he
Yeah,
went
a
and
lot.
did.
Him and a
Yeah.
few other famous people. There allegedly might be other actors and possibly athletes part of this scheme. So yeah, yeah, sketchy.
Hmm.
It will be. They might have stricter criteria. Although I do wonder what that means for Suga from BTS because his shoulder is fucked. And I don't see how there's any way that Suga can do active duty. But
I
we'll
don't think.
see.
Well, he is not a case where he actively went out of his way to try and not do active service.
No, yeah, he broke his arm
Yeah,
like pre-debut, his shoulder pre-debut, and I
exactly.
guess it's been fucked up since then. So
Hmm.
who knows what they're gonna do with him? But yeah, no, it seems like it's funny because they, I guess, revealed in this whole thing. They're like, oh, some of these people they just lie about having long-term injuries and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think Sugar's lying necessarily. I hope he's not.
No, he
But
got.
like,
I remember he got surgery recently, and he wasn't like doing activities with BTS because of the surgery.
yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, his shoulder's gonna be fucked for life, honestly. So like, if he can make it slightly better, then that's good. But yeah, that'll be interesting because I imagine people are going to scrutinize him if they don't know about the surgery thing. So that's going to be fun for him to deal with. Thanks, Ravi, for screwing things up. Like, why couldn't you have gone to the military prior, Ravi? Dude, before you start your own goddamn label, but whatever. But hopefully, Justice, I mean, who knows how long the contract Justice has with them. He could just bounce easily and find somewhere else to go. So who cares? Eason's left Bana this year. Big news. Very surprising that he did. Did not see this one coming because it seemed like he was pretty happy at Bana, but who knows? Who knows what he's on to now? We'll find out, I guess, in the future if he releases a new album. Jesse leaves P Nation. Also big news. Of course, along with Hyuna and Dawn. And I think Hyuna joined more Vision too. So it's all coming back full circle. It's great.
Oh, she didn't
Um
actually join. It's like
oh, she didn't join. She was
speculated.
rumored.
Yeah,
She was rumored. Did she? Did she end up joining a label yet, or no?
they haven't announced it officially or anything yet.
Okay. I mean, the big thing was her and Dawn broke up. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We don't have to hear more terrible music from them. Whoop de doo. I'm just being honest with you. The music those two made, so like individually, it wasn't that good in my opinion.
I liked
It was
Don Diddy Don. I like that one.
Yeah, I think they would have been better if they were still like in a Triple H situation with Hui, but because
Yes.
Hui bounced them out. But
Flower Shower was very good too. I like Flower Shower.
Flower Shower was good, but I haven't been vibing with a lot of Hyuna's stuff, solo stuff
Hmm.
recently. I hate
There's
to
a
say it, she
song
had better
on
music at
there.
Cube. She had
She
better
what?
music at Cube. Hannah had better music at Cube, yeah.
Well, Cube kind of like said, Cube just
But
doesn't know how to
Cube was
run
also
things.
Cube is a piece of shit company though. Let's not kid
Yeah.
ourselves here though. But you can't deny I think she had better music at Cube, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The one good thing about her being in Cube was that she had better solo music, but hopefully she's able to get some better solo music now. But in interesting news, Cookie left Million Market. Well, technically ATM Soul, but ATM Soul's a part of Million Market, so he left both, I guess. And he signs with AOMG. The biggest one of all, for sure, was Jackie Y joining AOMG. No one saw that coming. Or the fact that she was going to join the label.
Yeah.
I know. Good for her. Good for her. Glad. Hopefully she is actually able to put out an EP before if she's going to stick around or not. We'll see. C-Jam, as I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, left Just Music and joined Deja Vu. His BFF's label, BY, from Yellow Sex, was it? I think it was Sexy Street crew, Yellow Music crew. I forget the name of their crew, but he joins them.
I'm not familiar with them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those two have been close for a long, long time, though. So it's kind of cute. It's kind of like, of course he's going to join his buddy's label, because who's going to let him do whatever the fuck he wants? His friend. Duh. Within reason. Also, congrats to BY. His daughter was recently born. So cute. Super, super cute. Just saw it on Instagram, like, the other day. I was like, oh, cute. Paul Blanco also joined Ambition Music. Exciting. Palo Alto, after Highlight shut down in April last year, joined Daytona Records. And then Zion T leaves the Black Label, which I found out recently. The Black Label is literally just the old YG building, which, nice. Zion T creates a new label, Standard Friends, and currently Sloan and Weinstein are the only ones that have joined so far officially.
They're like
they're like all
Zion T, Sloan, and Weinstein.
Honestly, it makes sense. I'm not surprised. And then to wrap it all up, we have some idol adjacent news. So, Jowon-chan, I've been following this kiddo. He was a part of the OGZ kind of little crew of idol rappers that happened way back in the day that Groovy Room produced a song for them. He also released some solo music a while back, and then recently he joined Big Hit Music as a trainee and was part of the tentative Trainee A group. But then Trainee A, I guess, became defunct recently, and it sounds like they're all kind of, not all of them, but some of them are splitting up and going on separate ways. So a little bit unsure of his current status, if he's still a trainee under Big Hit, or possibly another Hype company, or if he left Hype entirely. But he did become a trainee of Big Hit. Who knows if he's still there?
We'll that whole thing is weird. I feel like Trainee A is stopping, but they're going to start a new project, which is them debuting.
Not all of them. Apparently, Yorch left. Apparently, Yorch is kind of signified that some of them are going to go their different ways.
Yorch put out that like Instagram post during Christmas. I feel like he went home for Christmas and then he came back.
Who knows? Who knows? Honestly,
like we don't know, right?
It was. I hope at least some of the kids, because I know Leo left for his alleged.
Leo left for good, yeah.
Yeah, Leo left, and it sounded like they were banking on him of being a producer for the group, kind of like a Stray Kids situation. So I think Big Hit kind of wanted to try a Stray Kids situation because it makes sense. They looked at Stray Kids and they're like, "Well, that's fucking popular."
No, it was more. It's more like a BTS situation where they have RM and Suga.
Well, kind of, but like those two don't really self-produce for the group as much though anymore.
Right. So it wasn't good. Yeah. They weren't totally going to do like a self-produced, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope at least a good chunk of them still stick around though. I would love to see Jowon-chan join a Hype group in general. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. KOZ, they're still auditioning, looking for rappers. Jowon-chan is a fan-fucking-tastic rapper. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he needed to, if it would have been best for him to transfer labels, I could see him realistically transfer to KOZ.
That makes sense.
It would make sense. Mm-hmm. It would make sense. They need rappers. He's a good rapper. Zico probably knows that Jowon-chan is a good rapper. Just saying. Like, that's one thing Zico, I feel like with his upcoming group he's gonna do, is make sure that's a group of, like, some solid rappers. His rappers need to be good. Like, for sure. Mm-hmm. No bad idol rappers here. Need to have good rappers. No matter what they're doing. But anyways, excuse me. Moving along. J-Hope does release Jack in the Box, and apparently, along with releasing Jack in the Box, had a wicked massive listening party where literally everyone and their mother within the Korean hip-hop and the Korean R&B sphere was in attendance. I saw so many goddamn photos on Instagram of this night. It's ridiculous. Seeing RM interact with Gold Buddha is just something that just like makes my mind burst. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Do you remember seeing photos from that night, Sat?
Yeah, it was like everyone was at that party and they had like a photo booth thing and everyone was posting selfies with each other. It was wild. And
It was
it was
like
all
Jesus
at Hyde.
Christ. It's like, goddamn, would I have wished to be a fly in that room, honestly? Even though everyone would be speaking Korean, would have no idea what the fuck's going on. I would still love to be there just to see everyone that I listen to and pay attention to. Oh, that woman's so cool. Shame Sugar couldn't go. I think he might have had COVID or got sick or something. But, I mean, good for RM and for J-Hope to at least attempt to probably network. So who knows? We could be getting some good collabs out of this, I hope. So we'll see. And then Zico, as I mentioned earlier, did have the hit single on Show Me the Money, New Thing with the homies, and then also released a new EP, Good Ass Kid, after coming back from the military. He also has a new like little show thing. What was it? Give Me a Minute or something like that. So he's been doing, so I guess he's been creating content in that regard. And of course, him and his company are bracing to create a new boy group, which I'm assuming at the earliest at this point could probably come out early at sometime 2024. I don't think it's going to happen this year. We'll see. But I feel like 2024 will be a decent year to release a boy group from them. So very curious. They're hiring a lot for KOZ right now. So I've been paying attention. It's been good shit. RM released Indigo in December. Really love that album. So good. And of course he collaborated with hip hop crew Bombing Tiger for Sexy New Kim. Great moves from RM. Love this shit. Keep it up, RM. Party. What did you listen to Indigo, Sat?
Yeah, I listened to Indigo. I think I prefer Mono, if I'm honest.
Oh, okay.
I prefer Mono vibes than Indigo vibes. But they're both good.
I like both a lot. But, like, I don't know. Indigo surprised me. I really love the Erykah Badu collaboration, though. Like, the fact he fucking got Erykah Badu on a single, holy shit. Holy shit. And Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak. Oh, my God. But, yeah. So, Frequent, an interesting news. I think that is the funniest thing to come out of all this. Frequent Esen's producer, 250, had also produced this year the mega hit K-pop songs for the new hit out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, girl group, New Jeans. He helped produce the smash hit songs Attention, Hype Boy, Ditto, and of course their B-side for Hurt. Frank also, who is also, I think he's part of Bonna too? I forget. I think he's under the same company as 250. Frank had produced for Cookie and OMG. I wish he didn't have the unfortunate lyrics of Cookie to be associated with that song because I really love the production in Cookie. But OMG, great song. I'm glad he's getting some attention from that. And then the hip-hop clubs, artists, and producers really took a liking to New Jeans, as with everyone else in Korea. But this inspired a lot of remixes on SoundCloud, a lot of artists, well-known artists I liked collaborate, like, not collaborating, but just, like, releasing their own versions of songs. And it's like, wow. Wow. Everyone's obsessed. It's crazy. Yeah.
The world is obsessed with New Jeans.
I mean, every single song about like Korean food or like anything Korea related or anything, I hear New Jeans songs in the background for these videos. It's like, I shit you not. They just play it. And I'm like, God damn. It's not even a year. It's not even a year. It's not even like 180 days. Well, it probably will be by the time this is released, but like it will be about half a year at this point by the time this episode's released. And it's like they're so fucking popular. It's like, holy shit. Insanity. And only 6 songs too. What the fuck?
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for news. And yeah, anything else you wanna news-wise you want to mention, Sat, or did I cover everything?
You covered everything. You're all good.
Party. So we did it. I guess that's the
recently. Did you know BY had his baby?
Yes, I think I mentioned that a little bit earlier.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, BY's a girl dad now. He's a girl dad. I'm so happy for him. I'm glad for BY. He's gonna be, I feel like he gives me the vibe he's gonna be a good dad, I think.
Yep, he does.
But yeah, good for him. We love it. Little hip hop babies. Yay. Love it. Little hip hop babies. But yeah, that's that I think wraps about this episode up. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Woo. No problem, Sat. Glad you could come back here again for a third time in a row, and we could talk some great other music coming out of the Korean music scene. And yeah, it's been fun. I like doing these every year. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. But yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta do an outro. But yeah, this was a solid year, I think. Overall, music wise.
Pretty good. It was pretty good for R&B, at least for me.
R&B, I think, had a new lease in life, which is great. I like it when R&B improves a lot, and I think this was a great year for R&B. Yeah.
Hip-hop. It was great to see a lot of females do full albums instead of minis and singles.
Thank God. It's like, we need more full albums. Granted, I could say that across the whole music scene in general. Can we get more full albums? Or like even EPs. Stop with the
singles.
Like
songs that are longer than 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Like longer than 3 minutes, please. Like I'm sick of 2-minute 40-second songs.
It's annoying because it's happening everywhere, because they're doing it for the streams and for like the TikTok replayability BS. And I don't use TikTok. I only like consume it through like Reddit and like Instagram, like aka whatever shows up on those sites that I happen to see. That's pretty much it. So I don't really give a fuck about TikTok. I don't know if you like TikTok or not, but like for me, it's kind of like, I hate how everything's just like TikTokified now. I'm just like, I can't wait till that app loses popularity.
Yeah. And it's also
I'm the
nice,
cynical
like,
person,
when a song actually had change, like, and progression, like when the chorus would change every time. But now there's only like the chorus comes on maybe twice, and it's just like the same thing and again and again. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the TikTok either.
No, I feel like it also seems like to be such a brain rot. I don't want to get into a TikTok rant, but like it's such a brain rot. I mean, it's great in terms of like content from at least the K-pop idols, but like because there's some fun content they put on there. I'm not gonna deny it. I see show up on like Reddit and stuff like that, but otherwise like the rest of it, there's a lot of cringy aspects of TikTok. I think if I ever had a TikTok, I feel like the only thing I would pay attention to honestly would be like food content.
Oh God,
like honestly, I feel like it'd be food content.
The food content I hate is when they like waste food, when they're putting like in a large. Did you ever see those where they put it in like a large table? They just dump dinner on the table.
That shit I don't care for, but I mean like I mean I don't mean that kind of food.
Like
content,
quick recipes.
Fuck that shit. It's such a weight of food. I hate that.
Yeah.
But like I like the check out this restaurant and da-da-da, or like they're just cooking a regular basic meal to like try, here's the ingredients and bada bing bada boom, here's a healthy salad for you to try with these delicious ingredients, something like that. Not like let's dump a bunch of food on the table and waste it. No, but the other shit I mentioned, I feel like that'd be it though, really, because that would be the only stuff I'd be like, okay, this is actually valuable and helpful. But like anyways, that's a TikTok rant to end it here. If TikTok could actually help some of these artists, these R&B artists and hip-hop artists succeed, that'd be great. But I don't know if that's gonna work anytime soon. But yeah, that's been the Korean hip-hop, R&B, and indie music, rock, whatever review of 2022. Woo! But yeah, all right, time to do once again, Sat, thank you for coming along, doing these fun little once a year reviews with me. It's been great. I appreciate it. It's been fun to have someone to talk to. I feel like talking by myself about this would be kind of lame, so it's nice to have someone who also knows kind of also about this kind of like section of the industry to talk about. So thank you for coming along.
No problem. It was fun.
Yeah. So, all right, time to do the outro. Kayla's usually good with this, but we'll work with what we got here. So, we are available on all major podcasting platforms like Apple and like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Music and wherever else you listen to your podcasts. We have a YouTube channel, and in our YouTube channel, you can check out the links to our social medias in there. And we usually, of course, release an episode once a week. If not, then we'll let you know in advance. And yeah, so yeah, that has been this episode, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.